Hey guys, welcome back. So today's Saturday. We're going to do a little crypto news here. We got some news. Obviously, Bitcoin is up from where it was in the low on Thursday. So we're going to cover some stories about that. But let's get into it really quick here. So here's Bitcoin right now. It's at 47,706, obviously down from its high that we hit around 48,000. What was the high? The high for the day was 48,359. So nice increase, obviously, having a little pullback here. Price in the price action, which is good. So let's get into some technical details. So what technical levels should traders watch after Bitcoin's latest rally? Bitcoin prices have had a good day, climbing more than 6% in the last than an hour, and then extending those gains later on. So we obviously saw that yesterday. The next level to watch in BTC is probably the 49,000 mark, said William Noble, the chief technical analyst of research platform Token Metrics. The key resistance level above for Bitcoin to get through for the more upside is the psychological level of 50,000, and then the September 5th high just shy of 53,000. So those are kind of our upper bands that we have to get past in order to go up even higher. The daily raindrop chart is showing heavy volume aggregating at the top of the range, so these levels may come rather quickly. Obviously, we've seen a nice pull up in the price. We're having a little pullback right now, just some profit taking a little bit, but we may continue this trend up further on. Colin Plum, CEO and founder of My Digital Money, spoke to the 53,000 level as well, describing it as a major resistance before Bitcoin heads towards 60,000. He also identified key support, signaling out the 40,000 level, which we obviously didn't cross at the end of September. Some of us were fearful. I was a little fearful we might cross it, but obviously we stayed above 43,000 and then obviously went up higher after that. Nick Spanos, co-founder of Zap Protocol, offered a similar take, describing 39,900 as the crucial support level. And then also White, I can't pronounce it, Mr. W, pointed out a higher support level, stating that the following: after breaking out of the falling wedge today on the daily chart, the main level to watch below is the volume-weighted average price, anchored from the September 5th high, which is right around 45,100. So those are the kind of numbers we want to keep an eye on with Bitcoin action going on right now. We obviously have ours set at 49,920, which is roughly our next resistance mark. Our support now is at 47,000. We need to keep that. We obviously have a little pullback today. We'll see if it stays above it. But other than that, if we cross that, we're looking at 44,700. And then obviously the low would be 40,000 here. So something to be mindful of. Next story. Billionaire Spec King reveals his huge Bitcoin bet and predicts the Bitcoin price will climb as it replaces gold. So now you're seeing a lot of this talk about Bitcoin replacing gold. We've seen this for a while. Bitcoin is gold 2.0 basically. So now billionaire investor Chamath has revealed he's poured hundreds of millions, take that in, hundreds of millions into Bitcoin, and predicts that the Bitcoin price will continue to climb as it replaces gold. So whenever you see a lot of money going into something, that's usually a telltale sign that those people are believing that this is going to go up, right? This is not something that they are just going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars into, thinking that obviously the price is going to go down. Because why would they do that? They don't want to lose money. This is almost a guarantee. Obviously, you always do your own research, but in my feeling, it's almost a guarantee that something like this is going to go up, because obviously you can afford to put in the money, but nobody wants to put in hundreds of millions of dollars and have it go down to zero, or lose 50% or 90% of its value. While Chamath likes other cryptocurrencies, including the buzzy upstart Solana, he said his crypto holdings are mostly limited to Bitcoin. I haven't put a lot of money outside of Bitcoin, obviously, he said. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions, like small capital right now. That's shocking to me that that's small capital to him. It could get very big, but irrespective of what I do, I will say is we all need to pay attention to it, because I think the implications are enormous. And I agree. So you got somebody like that throwing in hundreds of millions of dollars into something, it's more than likely going to go up in value. They're not going to throw their money into something that's not. Next story is the S.E.C. delays decision on 4 Bitcoin ETFs. So the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission has delayed its decision on 4 proposals for Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs. The S.E.C. gave notice, obviously, Wednesday that it's extending its review period for 45 to 60 days for these applications. So the applications in question are Global X, Wisdom Tree, Cryptoin, and Valkyrie. The new deadline dates for the S.E.C. to make its decision are November 21st for Global X, December 8th for Valkyrie, December 11th Wisdom Tree, and December 24th for Cryptoin. That's a weird one to say. These are just some of the more than a dozen applications the S.E.C. has received for the ETFs linked to Bitcoin from financial services firms. Among the four to have their reviews period extended this week. Valkyrie is the only one that is an ETF linked to the Bitcoin futures market rather than the performance of Bitcoin itself. So we've seen this before where it even says in here, Gary Gensler has stated that he would consider obviously approving a futures-backed Bitcoin ETF rather than a performance one. So here it is. S.E.C. Chairman Gary Gensler has repeatedly suggested that Bitcoin futures ETFs may have a better chance of gaining regulatory approval than those that invest in spot Bitcoin. So that is obviously huge. We obviously want to see a Bitcoin ETF happen regardless if it's futures-based or spot, but we are falling behind other countries like Canada and some of the European countries as well that have allowed it already. Next story, Coinbase launches support for Ethereum competitor across all its platforms. Obviously, the competitor is Avalanche. So the digital asset exchange, customers can now trade and send, receive, and store AVAX, the native token for the smart contracts platform Avalanche, on Coinbase.com and Coinbase Android and iOS apps. Coinbase Pro listed the asset earlier this week. So this is great news, obviously, if you're a holder of Avalanche or AVAX. AVAX is trading at 68.48 at the time of writing and is up nearly 5% in the past 24 hours. According to CoinGecko, the 12th ranked asset by market cap has skyrocketed by 1,482.5% in the past year. So congrats to you guys that have been holding on. Obviously, this is going to give more exposure to it and allow more people to invest in it as well. So I thought this was just good news, and we'll have to put Avalanche on our radar. Obviously, the price is kind of high. It's 68.48, but if it goes up to 3,000, it doesn't really matter if it's 68 or if it goes up to 10,000. It doesn't matter. Might be something that's worth investing in and maybe buying the dips a little bit and seeing where it goes in the future. And then finally, we have a tweet from Willy. So the last cycle, what will be this bull cycle top? In my own opinion, there is no top. Past predictable walk of demand supply governed by a simple 4-year halving. Right, so you have 1 coming back down, 2, which is the last cycle, and 3, and now we're in the 4th cycle. And right now, he's just saying that there might not be a top. Now, unpredictable walk of demand supply from a complex ecosystem until we hit saturation. And what is going to be saturation? Is it going to be 5 billion people using it, 3 billion people, 1 billion people using it? What's the saturation going to be? We really don't know. I mean, obviously, he's got it up here where it's going to $1 million, but saturation might not be until it hits 10 million or 15 million, 50 million, who knows? So kind of interesting. We do have a lot of adoption going on in the space. You've seen it with corporations buying into it. You're seeing ETFs. You're seeing other products being involved in it. You're seeing countries using it as a legal tender. So there's a lot of adoption going on right now in the crypto space with Bitcoin especially, and some of the other ones as well that are just crushing it right now. So that's all the stories I have for you guys. Some good news, obviously, here. Some not so good news, obviously, with the S.E.C. delaying the ETFs for right now, kicking the can down the road for a little bit longer. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one, see where it goes. And let's just cover the charts right now. We'll look at the charts, see where everything's at, and then we'll close it out. So here's a chart of Bitcoin again. Obviously, we're seeing that the 50-day and 20-day moving averages are starting to cross again, which is a good sign, which is a bullish sign. RSI has come back down a little bit, even though we're down a little bit. I was a little worried that the RSI was getting up a little too high, too fast, especially with the price going up so fast up. But right now, it seems like we're hitting that resistance here at 48,300 based on these 4 days that we had here. So I think once we get past 48,160, we should be tackling possibly this resistance here at 49,860. Then obviously we have ways to go before we hit 52,000, 53,000 roughly. Ethereum is still up on the day chart here. It is now battling with the prior resistance, which was 3,300. It is above it right now, which we're hoping that it becomes now support. And then obviously we'll have to battle the next resistance, which is 3,954. RSI is looking okay. Like I said, with Bitcoin, I was just a little concerned that it was going up too fast, too hard. Cardano right now is toying with our previous support resistance. Resistance now could possibly be support. If it closes the day above it, could become support at $2.26 roughly. It is at $2.25 right now. RSI is looking good. It's looking actually pretty good right now. I think we have more room to run with it. Hedera also has been pumping hard today. It was up almost 10% to almost 41 cents. It did hit 41 cents today. Obviously came back down. People are taking profits right now. RSI is looking good. We're still above the 20-day and the 50-day moving averages, which is great. Those haven't crossed, which I think we might bounce off of this some more and keep heading up higher to new highs. And then let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is hitting our previous support. It is now considered resistance at 167, so we'll see if it stays above it. If it can stay above it, it will become support, and it'll continue going back up. Oh, and we just had to close on the day we were up above the resistance, so hopefully this becomes our support now. Dogecoin is at 21 cents, almost 22 cents. It is still in no man's land. It's below the 200-day, 50, and 20-day moving averages. So have to keep an eye on that one. Stellar is testing, it looks like, our resistance here at 31 cents. It had gone above it today, fell back down below it, and now we're at pretty much our resistance. So we'll see if it can bounce off of this resistance or not. Then we have Solana. Solana is at 169. Obviously, we're still far from its all-time high of 216, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. It is right now looks like testing the resistance here at $169, which was created here with these 3-day candles, looks like. So if we can stay above it, I think we'll continue the trajectory going up. And then obviously the mining stocks aren't mining today's or aren't active on trades, so we won't cover those. So that's all I got for you guys. A lot of good news is going. Obviously, Bitcoin has rebounded nicely. We'll have to see if it reaches 63,000 like Plan B is saying it might by the end of the month. And then we'll see where obviously November takes us in December. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see if we're going to get any FUD out here from anybody reporting anything that's FUD. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a great time with your families or with your friends. And I'll see you guys in the next one.